credit in a bid to survive the country's tough economic environment. Those with repayments did get somewhat of a reprieve yesterday when the South African Reserve Bank decided to keep interest rates unchanged. But rates are still at a 14-year high, and South Africans are struggling to make ends meet. Annaline van der Poel, as Chief Operating Officer at Debt Rescue, says they're seeing an increase in the number of those seeking debt counselling.
Your planning done, look at what realistically is going on in your financial circumstances. Be honest with yourself, do a proper analysis of what you need to spend on various factors every month, and make changes where you possibly still can. Perhaps you have some luxuries that can be cut down, etc. And largely the kind of trends we are seeing are there's two key factors coming through. On one side, we are literally seeing people going into that debt spiral where they are having to live on credit to put food on the table. And on the other side, we also are seeing that people are taking up more and more payday loans.
When stuck in a debt spiral, it often seems there's no way out. But there's also sound advice for those drowning under a mountain of bills. Keith Peter does exactly that at Old Mutual's Personal Finance and has this advice.
There are a few strategies that one can actually follow. One of them is where consumers can actually rank their debts in terms of their interest rates, and they could start by paying more towards those debts in order to reduce their overall commitment. At the same time, they need to ensure that they're still maintaining minimum payments in respect of other debts. The alternative to that is perhaps rank those debts in terms of values and use the same process, but start with the smallest debt first. Those two strategies could actually help cash-strapped individuals when it comes to managing their finances.
The high interest rate environment has undoubtedly affected the cash flow of many households in South Africa. Another option for those struggling with debt repayments is debt consolidation or counselling. But you have to do your research, as MJ Davis, the CEO of F&B Retail Loans, explains.
Then approach your credit provider directly. Talk to them. It's in our best interest and the customer's best interest to come to an agreement rather than you not paying. Not paying is going to impact your credit record, and then you get to a very different situation. Rather approach your banks, your store card providers first, and all the big credit providers have teams who are focused on trying to help customers through this difficult period. They'll work on a payment arrangements, even potentially give you a payment holiday, just so that you can free up a bit of cash flow to get through it. And then if that doesn't work, the last option for us, which we recommend to customers, is to talk to a debt counsellor. Debt counsellors, you appoint a debt counsellor on your behalf to negotiate. And if done well, and if you use a reputable debt counsellor, while there are lots of consequences, like you can't take out new credits while you're under debt review, when managed well, it's actually a good outcome for customers. Debt consolidation is generally when you take out a new credit agreement with a credit provider, and it's used to reduce fees or spread your payments out over a longer period. Whereas debt counselling or debt review is a legal process where a debt counsellor sort of acts on your behalf, and often the court needs to get involved. So first thing to check out for, if somebody's selling you debt consolidation, make sure they're not selling you debt review, because it's two very different things.
Some good advice there. Now, millions of birds have been culled in the latest avian flu